Hello viewers, Marianne from Revealing Light Tarot. I did do a take to start this video before this one, and I introduced myself as Revealing Light, Marianne from Revealing Light Tower. Sometimes I feel I am in that tower moment, like you all do. But I have been getting increasing requests from people to really, do a channeling or lead a prayer, something that will bring light in. This morning before I started, well, I'll go back a little bit. For a few years now, many years actually, I have been clairvoyantly seeing, I feel it's one of my guides, I'm not sure, but I only know him as, his name is either Isaiah or something very, very old, and he comes to me underneath a very huge tree. And he's very old and very wise, and he's usually dressed in a very old, brown, simple kind of garb, whether or not he's a monk or something. He seems to be a holy man. Anyway, this morning when I usually go through an opening up, I usually meditate for about 10 minutes before I start my work here on this channel. And I go through a chakra clearing and rebalancing. And I also connect with the divine and use various methods to establish that divine connection, to clear up my cluttered thoughts and to breathe and meditate and really make sure that I'm clean and clear before I start this. I ask that information is always brought forward for the light. Now, as I was doing that this morning, and I'm very warm, so one of the signs that your vibration is a little bit higher is your temperature starts to rise. But instead of my usual imagery and meditation that I usually go through, I got I'll just call him the old man, the old man walking. He stood at the top of a very dark basement. He had walked with a staff, and he came down the stairs to me where I was sitting. He opened up a book, and he said, I'm going to tell you some things. I'm going to read you some things. I'm going to bring forward some information for you. And he started to give me the knowledge or the impression that this information would come through to describe what was happening now on this earth, the earth being the basement, and how we could lift our vibrations and influence, not influence, but I guess influence certain or the direction that we were going in. Now, he started off by saying, and I wrote it down, the weak needed to get stronger, because people had forgotten how to love, where division was the demeanor, where they had forgotten how to help, and were pushing forward in violence and retribution, creating many, many victims, fleeing who were or who did flee from persecution. Experience became obviously negative and also necessary for those who have hope, and this is where we look to what we can do. For those who have hope in your hearts, light will grow alongside your own illumination. You will rise and you'll no longer be on your knees. So go within and focus on that light of hope he's talking about, which has been a feature of my readings since I began, which is included in the name of my channel, which is why I leave that light open in the curtains behind me, and you will notice the orbs dancing in the light. Go within and focus on your light and let it grow. Fill yourself with light, fill your homes with light, and surround your loved ones with light, because few things grow in darkness. Watch how the light transforms your learning and sets you on the right path. This message is for those who are listening, for those who seek relief, For those who want change but don't know how to plant that seed, cultivate your hope and watch as the world passes through the shadow and the sun emerges. I have been pulling the sun card now in my readings for the last month or two, indicating that I've done a couple of channelings on the shadow side and how we can grow strong through recognising that the shadow side actually does have power if we can transform it and understand, increase our awareness and bring ourselves into the light. So I'm just going to do one pull before I upload this message, and that is, how do we move into the light? How do we influence this darkness that we sometimes find ourselves within? And how can we move to the full rays? How can we sit in the light, in the sunshine, in our own happiness, and surrounded by love, not hate? How can we do that, Spirit? How do we do that? All right, let's see what we're going to pull. So here we have our King of Cups. And of course, those of you that watch me will know the King of Cups suddenly started to appear around, well, a little bit before this president's impeachment. He seems to be the focal point of darkness at the moment. So this is somebody who operates with a loving heart. I'll bring the laptop down so you can see. The King of Cups. The Ten of Cups, my goodness me. Love. Love is the message coming through these cards. This is family love. This is community love. This is coming together in love. Choosing love. The Lovers. I just want to pause here because this is obviously the love that we have for each other. The Four of Cups. Spirit does have a sense of irony. Not focusing on what we've lost, but on focusing on that cup of love. So this person is looking down into the cups that have already been lost. The meaning of this card is disappointment, cynicism. Look up to the cup of love. Whoa, I'll keep going. Don't let our anxiety and our worry, the continual thoughts running round and round in our head, bring us down and keep us in that basement. It's time for new starts. It's time to let that light in, to grow and cultivate that seed of hope, because that will bring forward what we desire, what we're asking for. The Nine of Pentacles. We're not meant to, I guess, when we're in this darkness, when we're down operating within the density of the weeds, it's very, very hard to be free. It's very, very hard to have the things that you want. Remember that you can manifest when you get up and get out of the weeds, when you move your thoughts from negativity to positivity. There's always an offer of love if you can see it, and it is coming towards you. Are you going to be able to see it? Where are you looking? It's all about love. It is time to check yourself. It is time to review your thoughts. It is time to make decisions in a different way. It is time to do something differently because what you've been doing hasn't worked. The Hermit. I'm afraid that in the next 4 weeks we will be forced to reflect and to understand the negativity that's around us. This hermit is coming forward more frequently again in my readings, but understand this. You have the light to operate in the darkness, and that light is a guiding light, and that is the light of hope. Come together, don't stand apart, work with others, join in your community, give yourself and your gifts to help others, because we've forgotten how to help. How to help indeed, how to give and how to receive help. Just going to go underneath the deck. We do have death. But look at that white horse behind this Grim Reaper. This is there, even in the darkness, there is hope. Even in endings, there is hope, because when we end something, when we change the way that we do something, when we move from a negative energy into a loving energy, we actually start to experience a rebirth. And did you ever doubt that this card wouldn't come up in this pull? The Star of Hope. Where do you put your thoughts? Where do you put your intentions? Put them on hope. Keep your thoughts high, keep your thoughts positive. The Empress, because we do have abundance. Things will pass. Cultivate your hope and watch as the world passes through the shadow and the sun emerges. There's truth for us at the moment coming forward, and it comes forward in adversity. It is calling for our stronger selves, our higher selves, our inspired selves to make an appearance, to reunite with the essence of who we are. And I'll finish on that card. Well, no, actually, one more. The Six of Cups in the world. Endings and beginnings, new beginnings. Look at this person dancing in the light. If you want to move through this ending to a new beginning, fill yourself with that light. Fill your homes with that light. Visualize that light. So for those that were looking for a message that uplifts, this is what was channeled to me this morning. Thank you for tuning in.